This is for John Chamberlain. This is Chris Oliver for the second speech. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chris Oliver. Today I bring you to the Chris Oliver Show, where I'm going to show you how to tie a leader tonight. Okay. So the very first step, which we like to call here, step one. The first thing you're going to do is you need to find your fishing pole. When you find your fishing pole, you need to decide, where am I going to go fishing today? Am I going to go fishing in the saltwater, freshwater? What is the game plan? Once you do that, you have your line. That's right here, everybody. It's called a fishing line in step one. So step one, once again, you get a fishing pole, you figure out where you're going, you find your line. And then from step one, we're going to work our way down to step number two. Step number two is going to begin with your leader. This is where I'm going to show you guys how to tie your first knot. So the first thing you're going to want to do, get you some leader. So this is your line, which you learned in step one. Keep going. We're going to take our knife as careful as possible, and we're going to go ahead and cut. Once we cut, we're going to find both ends of our leader, just like this. Grab our other end of our line, which I taught you in step one. And step two is going to be the leader to line knot. We're going to grab two pieces just like that. Can you see it good, cameraman? Perfect. Grab it like this. We're going to tie one loop. Sorry, I'm going to grab them like this. We're going to tie one loop around our finger, just like that. We're going to widen them right in the middle. We're going to pinch it right there. See how we have two ends coming on this side and two ends coming on this side? We're going to grab it with our opposing finger. So I'm going to show you this side too. So now we're going to look where the line goes. This end of the line is connected to our reel. So we're going to grab our opposite line, tag end, and our other long end, leader. We grab them together. We're going to give them one twist. We're going to give them two twists. Twist is the hardest part, most definitely. Two twists. We're going to give them one more twist to be safe. Three twists. The amount of twists that you give them is honestly up to you. Some people like to do more. I usually do more, but for time's sake, I'm just going to go with three. You're going to grab both ends just like this. You're tagging your leader, you're tagging in your line. You're going to give it a little lubricant, just like that. Pull it together tight, just like that. So we're back and we have our two ends here after we just tied our leader to line. That we're still in step two. To finish the knot, we want to grab our knife, be as safe as possible, butt it up right to the end of our knot right here, and just pull down and just cut them both off. You can do a little back and forth action. Just make sure you don't cut the actual knot. Back together. Now we have a tight knot where both of our line and leader meet right here, tight as can be. So as you can see, now we have a good knot. Now we're going to go from there. We learned in step one. Let's review. Step one, we go back, we find our fishing pole, we find our line, we decide what we're going to do today. Then we go from there to step two, where we find our leader and we cut a piece of leader and we put them line to line, where we make our loop knot. We tie our knot by pulling it together. We cut the ends. That's step one and two. Now we're going to be moving on to step three. Step three, I do have to say, is probably one of my favorite parts. You need to pick out what you want to fish with today. So today I picked out one of my favorite out of, you see all the different kinds of stuff they got going on here. I picked us a spoon. Now this spoon right here can be used to go top water, anything like that. So going back to step two, we got our leader. We have our unbreakable knot that I just taught you guys to tie right there. Not coming out. The biggest tarpon in the world could hit that, big game fish. So then I'm going to teach you the third thing here about getting ready to go fishing is tying your leader to your lure. I'm going to teach you a very basic, what they call a fisherman's knot today. So you're literally going to act like you're threading a needle. You're going to go through the hole right there. You're going to pull you out a good little bit of line, just enough so you know maybe 6 inches, 8 inches. You're going to come down, and you're going to grab the other end just like this. We're going to give it 1, 2, 3, 4. See how it's getting tighter like that? 5, 6, it's spinning just like a web. 7, 8. Pinch the bottom here. We're going to go back up to what we call our tag end, the end that's loose. Grab it. I find it easier to grab it in my mouth most of the time. It's hard to get a good grip on it. And pull it tight. And then you want to grab your end right here. Go back through this loop that we made right here. We're going to go through the middle of it, grab it, twist over, and we're going to go back through our original hole just like that. Everyone see that? Step 3, through this line right here. It's the end of the tag line. It's very simple. It's through this end of the knot. We're grab our tag line. We're going back through our loop right here. We're going to grab it, pull it tight, and all we got to do from this step is, you see our knot already being formed. Hold this tag in, if your mouth, your finger, however you feel comfortable doing it. Once again, from here, you simply just have your knot, hold it a little stiff, and pull it. Get right there, cameraman, right there. Buddies it up, tight as can be. The line, when a fish gets on, it's pulling against itself. Once again, we want to practice fish safety here and get this off so it doesn't get broken off and a fish eats it in the ocean or anything like that. So we're just going to go ahead and cut it off. Leave it in there, put our knife away. You want to be careful, kids. And that completes steps 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to move on to step 4 at this point. This is our last step in the fishing. Getting ready to go fishing, step number 4, the funnest part. So what I'm going to do before I tell you about step 4 is we're going to go back over steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, get our fishing pole. Look at it. What are we going to go do today? Saltwater, freshwater. In step 1, we get our line. We get our line, which is connected to our reel, which is on our fishing pole. Then from there, we get our leader. We tie us, the first knot I taught you, a leader to line knot, and we get it ready, we tighten, we cut off our ends. Then we go to step 3, which is once again my favorite part, where we pick out a lure. Today we happen to pick out what they call a shiner lure, or a plate lure. We have it out, we tied our lure to our, we tied our lure to our bait here, and that completes step 3, and that was the last knot that I'll teach you. And step 4 is the best part. You get your pole out, you reel it up just a little bit, and you want to make sure that your tension is good with your lure and your line. So what you're going to do is come over here real quick, right here. You want to pull this and see how tight it is. If it's too loose, you're going to tighten it counterclockwise. Tighten it on up a little bit. And then you'll feel the drag tighten. That's too tight. So you want to loosen it up a little bit, get it going. Now you got a nice drag so a fish can pull it so it doesn't snap your line. Reel it up a little bit, bring it back, get your leader and your line ready to go, and then simply just hook it on up to your pole, reel it up, and now you've learned the 4 steps to having a successful day on the water.